Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Becoming Anchored podcast. My name is Laura Deneen. I am one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Lauren Jackson, before she goes out on her maternity leave. We wanted to squeeze in a couple more episodes before she goes out to care for her sweet family and new baby girl. If you're new to this platform, we welcome you, and we just are so honored to have you listening to the show today. We have had a podcast in prior seasons that has been more focused on generalized mental health questions and concerns, and we've really niched down recently around the topic of body image, and we talk a lot about moving towards body peace and exploring your relationship with your body. This is a lot of the work that we do at our group practice in Tennessee. So we welcome you, we honor you. If you are looking for therapy in the state of Tennessee, we would love to work with you. And if not, we encourage you to reach out to someone local to you. So without further ado, today we are actually going to be talking about what body peace really means. So we use this verbiage a lot, like in our body image card deck, in the course, on social media. I think we've talked about it or referenced it in prior podcast episodes. And so we really just wanted to share our thoughts on like body peace, because we can say that, and yes, you might have an understanding of like what those two words mean on an individual level, but it's like putting that together. I think there's a lot of value in us breaking down that topic today.
Well, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know if there's an actual like clinical definition. I think I think it can really be up to interpretation, what it maybe means to you, or even how we help a client navigate it, right? Because I can imagine, and I have probably even heard this from clients before when it comes to body peace, body acceptance, that there can be this like belief that, well, maybe that just means that I have to love my body all the time.
Yeah.
Or, think my body is great all the time. And it's a little bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah, or think like my body is like beautiful or
Yes.
perfect, or it's like what can happen is like responses to that question can really center on like appearance only versus like the experience of embodiment, what it feels like to be in your body, your physical sensations, your emotions, all those things.
Yeah. Well, I think when we talk about body image in general, I think a lot of the thoughts around that are, well, body image just means like what we look like, and it is more than that. Yeah.
So I would love your kind of thoughts on that. When you think about body image in the context of like body peace, right? Like that's what we're essentially going for, or we're hoping for with each client that we work with, is supporting them as they move towards body peace. But yeah, can you talk a little bit more about the nuances in addition to like appearance?
Yeah, totally. So what I help my clients kind of navigate and open their perspective on, and maybe we've done this in an episode or talked about this in an episode, the 4 components to body. Maybe we haven't done that yet. Anyways, so yeah, there are a lot of different factors that go into how we experience our bodies, that go into this like umbrella of like body image. And so it's not maybe just what we see in the mirror or what we see in our reflection. It's how we're maybe physically feeling that day. It's maybe how emotionally we're feeling. It's maybe how connected with our bodies we are, or disconnected from our bodies we are. It's I'm probably missing something here. Maybe even relationally, what's kind of going on in our lives. And so all of those things impact how we experience our bodies, how we see our bodies, how we then interact with our bodies. And so body peace for me, or I guess maybe the way that I help my clients move towards that, is not about this destination of moving towards love or even acceptance all the time. It's, can I stay connected to my body even when I don't feel good in it, or even when I don't like it, or even when it's uncomfortable, or even when there's distress. The peace in being able to find connection to ourselves in the midst of something that's uncomfortable, I think is where we can find, I guess, that peace, or that sense of like, oh, I'm home. Like, I can still be home in this space.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned all 4 of the components,
Okay.
right? But to break it down, cognitions are, this is fancy therapy jargon.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to break these terms down because if you haven't been to therapy before, they can feel kind of elusive and fancy. But cognitions are really just another way to say thoughts, right? So we experience thoughts about our bodies. And a lot of times our clients show up and their thoughts are really harsh and critical. And some of the psychoeducation that we'll give clients here is like, hey, not everything we think is true, right? I could have a thought that I'm like a plant. I'm looking at my lily and I'm clearly not. I'm a human being, right? And we might laugh that off, but something around our bodies might feel more distressing to us, right? If I have a negative thought about my body. So Lauren was talking about that. You also referenced the perception piece. So what I see in the mirror, how accurate is that reflection to myself? The affective piece is like our emotional experiences. And then the behavioral piece, what we do, you mentioned this, right? Like how we interact with the world and others in the context of our bodies can be really just valuable information. And we talk a lot about breaking things down on this podcast. And that's one of the reasons I love the 4-component model, is because it really helps body image healing feel a little bit more tangible, I think, to a lot of our clients versus this like looming dark cloud that, like, I don't even know where to start can be the response that we get a lot of times. And I love what you said about home, right? It's like, I think a lot of our clients feel like their body has betrayed them, that they can't trust their body. And so we are supporting them and moving towards peace with their bodies in the sense of like trust, safety, like collaboration with your body, right? All those things.
Yeah, like even, so I can use myself as an example right now. I am just really uncomfortable, like physically in my body right now. Like there's a lot of discomfort. There are times where I feel like I just want to like kind of crawl out of my skin. I don't know. And so there's a practice for me of welcoming that, of being mindful of that, of making space for that, of acknowledging it, recognizing it, naming it, all of the things that we help and encourage and challenge our clients to do, and that those things that feel uncomfortable and like, oh, I kind of can't breathe and whatever, none of that has to mean for me that my body is doing something wrong, or I can't trust it, or it's bad, or I think maybe even in pregnancy we can hear a lot of like, I just want my body back, right? And it's like, oh, but my body's not gone anywhere. My body is still here. It's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good a lot of the times. Yeah. And the peace comes in, oh, I can trust it. I can take care of it. I can listen to it. I can tend to it. Like, what does it need, right? Like, this discomfort, like, what can I do to, like, tend to that and pay attention to that? And all of those things help me move towards, like, a peace in the discomfort or whatever that I'm feeling.
There's, like, a softness and a compassion that I hear when you mention these things versus, like, the cruelty and the harsh verbiage that oftentimes, if we haven't done any sort of body image work, those themes can show up more so.
Yeah. So I think what feels most important to me with my clients, or even just with myself, is peace isn't an absence of like hard or discomfort or I think it's just, can I stay with that? Can I make room for that? And what else exists in that space with those things?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I would add to that as well, and I know you do this work with your clients, but it's like, can I hold space for that and resist the urge to maybe engage in harmful things?
Yeah, totally.
For my body, or behaviors that historically I can recognize don't actually serve me.
Right.
And we have to have insight and awareness to be able to even like notice that there might be an urge to engage in something harmful. Mm-hmm. We can allow the distress to like rise and peak and fall. Mm-hmm.
Well, we tend to move towards maybe harmful behaviors because we're looking for relief,
right?
Quick, like something to feel better or something to maybe try and move through or get rid of that discomfort.
Yeah.
And sometimes harmful behaviors can just be an easy go-to pattern that we know, mm-hmm. and so. And I think what we find when we really do start doing this work is that, those don't actually move me towards peace. Like, they don't actually move me towards embodiment or connection.
Yeah, and I do tell my clients, if you are a client of mine and you're listening to the show, it's like, you've probably heard me say this before, but I tell my clients, like, no one wakes up in the morning and is like, I can't wait to experience pain and suffering today, right? It's like, we can all acknowledge that, right? Like, and a lot of us maybe didn't learn early on or in our adolescent years or maybe through college or, some higher degree of education or whatever, how to like cope through hard. And so we both have so much compassion. If taking hard things or if going through hard things for you has led to you taking it out on your body, like Lauren and I both fully, deeply understand that. And through these episodes we're doing and the platform of Becoming Anchored, we're here to also tell you there's another way, right? Like, and other tools and resources that we can use to like help ourselves in moments of pain or even suffering, move through distress in ways that are supportive for our bodies versus harmful.
Yeah, I love what you said. Just acknowledging, hey, if you've been through hard things that have then led you to take it out on your body, like, we see you, and that, I think that can be so validating for people.
It makes sense. I think especially for those of you listening who've been through any sort of trauma, that's a really common response. Or just not really knowing how to like cope with anxiety or another mental health diagnosis, right? So it makes a lot of sense, and there is another way. One other thing that came to mind as you were talking, just as far as like what body peace is and what it isn't, I think it's also looking at our life as a whole, right? And all the things that we may do on any given day, or all the activities or behaviors or work or personal life, duties that we have or responsibilities that we have, and looking at how much space, time, and energy does our thoughts about our body take up? Are we able to like live our lives fully? You know this, but Marianne my little girl has been really into like the splash pad recently, and she asked to go every single day, and she loves it, and she can now go down the slide by herself, and she's so proud of it. And yes, it's been just something that has really allowed us to like, I don't know, experience joy with her. And if I am not able to engage in that with her, that might be problematic, right? And so for those of you listening, perhaps you have avoided going somewhere like the splash pad or the pool or the beach. Your body image distress might be taking up too much of your life, your life space. And of course, Lauren and I both acknowledge that we're like thin white women and we have a lot of privileges and blessings, and we're the first to say that. And I do think that's like a helpful question that can lead to accountability and honestly like provide some motivation to change and to support clients in moving towards body peace. It's like, I really want to be able to go to the splash pad. What are the steps around healing my body image that I need to take so that I can engage in that activity? Because a lot of times when people come to us, and I think this is true for even our own stories, it's like the amount of time that they're spending thinking about their body or maybe engaging in other harmful behaviors towards their bodies is like not helping them. It's really hurting them, in fact, and it's taking away from the experience of joy in their everyday lives. So that's another good question for you to ask yourself, right? Just in the context of body peace is like, how much time, energy, capacity is my body taking up?
Much of my brain space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk about that a lot, brain space, right? Mm-hmm. Is it closer to 100%, right? And there's, of course, an appropriate percentage where, like, we're always with our bodies, so we want to be tenders to our bodies, but a lot of times when people do get to us, there is too much brain space being taken up. All of this to say, looking at, like, how much brain space is my relationship with my body taking up.
Yeah.
And that can be a signal to us that we might benefit from doing some of the work of moving towards body peace.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, we just wanted to provide you all with some thoughts, ideas, suggestions around, this definition.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're rooting for you as you do this work for yourself. Mm-hmm. And maybe your homework can be journaling about what body peace means for you.
Yeah.
And there's so many nuances because our stories are so unique. We're so unique as human beings, and we honor that for you. But what that would look like for you is your homework, and Lauren will provide your affirmation for today's episode.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking of this idea of both and. So, tending to my body and caring for my body in the midst of discomfort or distress will move me towards body peace.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to the Becoming Anchored podcast today. We will see you next time. Take good care.